Today is the day we install solar panels on the roof of our Airstream. We have 6 100-watt panels to install, and I've never done this before, so it's going to be interesting. I should note, this is not a how-to video. This is me telling the story of my process installing my solar. My first step is deciding where I'm going to place each panel. I've got 6 of these to place. These are the boxes they came in, so if the box fits, the panel's going to fit. One thing I need to consider is the shading. Now when a panel is partially shaded, it's not working at its full potential. So I want to avoid places that might cast a shadow like the AC units. The second factor I need to figure in is all the wiring is going to need to go through this fridge vent. So I need a place where I can bring all the wires together and then pass them there so I can go down inside the Airstream. I'm going to play a little bit of Tetris to see where these fit best. That's the front of the Airstream, that's the back of the Airstream. Not quite big enough to go there. Could run one there. They will definitely fit in there, except that one's going to be shaded. I think that eventually I'd like to pull out this AC unit and replace it with a fantastic fan. So that means I gain a little bit more room up here and I don't have to worry about shading. And with the mounts I've got, it can raise them high enough so they go above these little vents, both the shower and the toilet vent and the black tank vent and the gray tank vent. So I could actually fit another 1, 2, maybe 3 panels up here if I wanted to. But I think this is going to be absolutely plenty for our needs. We're pretty energy efficient and this looks like a good setup. Let me show you where I put them all. I think this looks pretty good. 2 up there, 2 over here that won't get shaded, 2 over here, 1 that may get partially shaded. But I think that's a great setup. I want to make sure I leave a spot that I can still climb up here on the ladder so I don't box myself off climbing on and off. That would be a bad thing. Here's the dilemma. The side of the Airstream is curved, so if I mount it over here, that's not really laying flat and it's not going to adhere right. I suppose I could bend this more than a 90, but that doesn't feel right. And this is a flat mount on a curved surface. Too close. And I gotta pull that up. Oh, that is not coming up. Oh gosh, dang it. Well, I'm gonna get good at pulling these off and retaping them because that's what I'm gonna have to do. Now we're gonna test how well this stuff comes off. Thank you. Perfect. Let's see if this works. Remember how I said this was not gonna be a how-to video? Well, there you have it. That's pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I'll just go get some more tape and redo that. And that one's free. I'm gonna be removing this one, I messed up. Just pour the solution in there, isopropyl alcohol, and shove your credit card, or in this case, Cold Stone gift card, right up in there. And it cleans as it de-sticks. Double acting. Obviously I can't reuse or wouldn't want to reuse this tape on this mount, but I can redo it. Note to self, mount the upper ones first because the bottom ones twist a little bit. Here it comes. All right. I'm gonna set that aside for a sec and work on the other one. So I want these ones as low profile as possible, but the problem with this angular mounting is if I try to lower it to that hole, it won't reach and it's gonna be off. I wished I'd thought to keep this in its lowest position while I was starting. So because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, I'm gonna pull this off and mount a new one at the lower section. This is actually really easy and not a pain at all, like I would have thought. Let's just hope it never rains isopropyl alcohol before I get the silicone down to seal it all in there. This stuff is stuck on there though. It's crazy how I can pull up on that. It's not coming off and it's even half unstuck already, and I still can't pull it off. And it hasn't even sat overnight to like cure on here. One thing I love about AM Solar is that they have videos of all this. The reason I know this can be done is because I watched all their videos on these feet, these rocker feet. Man, they're still just a centimeter touching and I can't pull it off. That is some serious sticking power. I don't think I'm gonna need to run screws in this, even though it's kind of on a beveled surface. The aluminum kind of pulls up and sucks to it and makes itself flat there. There's not a lot of structure here, so it actually adheres pretty flat to this mount. All right. We are going to replace the tape on this one and use it on a different one, and I'll use a new mount to mount that lower. All right, I don't think I can run this on the lowest one. Maybe I can. Let's see if I can get away with it. Nope. I mean, if I shove it in there, yeah, but I don't want to do that. I'm gonna remove that and re-stick this one. All right, note to self. Set this in the position you want it to be in when you stick it on. Didn't even think of that. Being able to get these off is worth more than whatever this Cold Stone receipt is worth, or this gift card is worth, because I'm just glad I can redo this. There we go. Whew. Put it in the lowest hole this time. Totally dry. Don't want to break this glass, but I do want this to stick on there good. Now it's time to put this one on. Gotta let that dry for a sec. And now that is sitting nice and low profile. Yeah, that is not going anywhere. Especially once I put the lap sealant on it. Now let's redo the one that I messed up before. And what I forgot here is that I need to leave enough room to be able to get a wrench on that and get the bolts in and out. So I need at least that much of a gap for this one. I'm gonna enlist Teresa's help. What happened last time is I mounted one and then this slid a little and it was all crooked. So she's gonna help me make sure it's parallel on that side. Just on the bottom edge of that. It'll come off with rubbing alcohol, don't worry. Alright, here goes nothing. Are your lines still lined up?
Yes.
Going down. Sorry, no, that pushed it a little, but this is where it is right now. Okay, that feels pretty good. That's looking really good. Look at that. I just gotta stick that one on now. This is super interesting. Look at the difference between the one that's stuck, or not stuck, I mean, it's got gaps all around, and the one that's stuck, it's pulled the aluminum up to it, so it's sticking everywhere. That's what this is gonna look like when I peel the sticky off. Pretty amazing. Now I'm gonna remove these panels. Teresa, I'm gonna make sure all of these are totally stuck down on every corner. Ready? Hurry. Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, these are stuck. Temperature's still hovering around 60 degrees, but I want to make sure that this adhesive really got a chance to get gooey and stick to that really well. So I'm going to heat it up with a heat gun a little bit just to double check. It says after 20 minutes it's at 50% adhesion, 24 hours it's at 90%, and it's after 72 hours it's at 100%. Tomorrow it's going to get nice and hot, but tonight it's going to get chilly. It's been below freezing at night, so I'm going to get that really warm. Now I'm going to use this Dicor lap sealant. This is the self-leveling stuff, and I'm going to put it all around each foot and totally seal it in there, kind of glue it on there and keep any moisture from getting to that tape. All right. Oh, that was way too much. It's like playing with cake batter. Well, that self-leveling stuff should kind of push itself around and get all smooth before the end of the night. Stuff's usually better if you don't touch it and play with it. I always said if we decided to get another trailer, we can just pull these off and transport it to the next one. I don't see that happening. All right, I'm gonna call that a night. That's gonna, hopefully these all self-level and all those bumps go away. You can see on those two, they're pretty dang smooth. Those are my first ones. But this will keep that stiction on there. That was a lot of work for just 2 panels, but I'm getting better at this, and each time's gonna go faster. I'm excited to hopefully get the other 4 stuck on there tomorrow, now that I know what I'm doing a little bit better. Wasn't that bad actually, and wiring them shouldn't be that bad either. They gave really, really good instructions. One thing I'm loving about AM Solar are the instructions on everything. They took the time to get them written really well and really clear, so even someone like myself who doesn't have a ton of electrical experience can figure out where stuff goes, get it started. Getting pretty excited. We've wanted solar since day one. We're excited to finally have them on this, and I can't wait to be charging my batteries with the sun instead of with the generator.
In Arizona, where it's warm.
I've got a mess here.